What's up traders, welcome to live weekly forex forecast from Forex Trading Wizard Academy. This is Forex Wizard, your trading coach. I'll be doing a complete multi-time frame analysis of all the hottest currency pairs, cryptocurrencies and indices that you will be looking to trade next week. The list is a bit longer as you can see, but don't worry, I'll put a timestamp in the description area, but I'll suggest you to watch till the end of this session, and I will be discussing one by one all the pairs that we will be looking at based on the indexes. As you can see, this is the last week of the month. Last week of the month is always very volatile. As you can see, there will be a weekly and monthly close, and let's see one by one how we can find trading opportunity in the upcoming week. So first of all, looking at DXY, as DXY will give us a clear direction in the market, removing all the noise from the lower time frame. Now this is DXY. As you can see, past week we have seen that DXY was in a very strong bullish momentum. Still it is maintaining bullish market structure. So let's see what kind of opportunity we have. We will be looking at first of all monthly time frame to see overall picture. Now from the monthly we can see that DXY previous months has created this monthly long week candle. Now this monthly long week candle, you can see, has rejected from this support level and then has closed above this support. And this month so far, in the first 3 weeks, we have seen that significant bullish momentum on DXY. Now there are two probable scenarios in the upcoming week, as this is the last week of the month. What I think that DXY may try to retest this resistance line, and then later at the end of the month we could see that coming down to close as a long week candle. So this week also we could see that DXY remaining bullish. Now if we look at the weekly time frame, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is a strong movement to the upside on DXY. This is the weekly move, and as you can see, every week the price is creating series of higher high and a low, which is a long-term uptrending market structure. This is the last week's candle, and we have seen that in this last week candle DXY has broken this weekly resistance. Now one thing we need to keep in mind, guys, is that this is the weekly resistance, as you can see, and from that resistance there is the liquidity, as this red candle has crossed this high and closed this long bearish candle. Now the price has triggered that liquidity that could give DXY some downside movement. What I think that in the market opening we could see, if we see the DXY coming down initially, later we could see again going up to test this level on the weekly, or we could see that initially going up, test this resistance and coming back down for a deeper pullback. Now looking at the daily to see how DXY is doing, now we see that from the daily perspective, with this liquidity gap in that zone on the daily, there was a strong movement. Now we see that in this daily time frame there are two dodges. This double dodges on DXY is not that much of a strong bullish momentum. Instead we could see that a pullback, as we see that from the monthly is still bullish, but on the daily we see the market is slowly getting exhausted. What I think that this week what we could see initially a bit more upside, and that upside could lead DXY to go to this resistance, or after testing this daily high we could see the DXY coming down for a deeper pullback. As you can see with this pin bar, DXY has moved to this resistance zone and the price has broken this high, which is in fact a very strong liquidity zone. If we draw this level here, what do we see that this is the neckline of this previous support here on the daily perspective, which is turning resistance here, and from that zone we saw that DXY from the daily perspective there is a long week doji. Now there is a probability for DXY to come down to this liquidity zone from the daily perspective. Now looking at intraday perspective, we see there is a long week 4-hour doji here, And what I think that in the beginning of trading we might see another attempt from the buyer to test this level, and then we can expect DXY to come down for a deeper pullback. So from the lower time frame we see that DXY may come down for a deeper pullback. So if we go back to the monthly again, then how we can see this price action from the monthly as the last week of the month, what I think that either we could see another attempt from the buyer, or without looking at another attempt, as the price triggered liquidity, we might see the DXY coming down for a deeper pullback. So from the DXY perspective, we see that the market is exhausted, still maintaining an uptrending market structure. Anytime we could see the DXY coming down for a deeper pullback, so we can expect downside on DXY that could lead gold, euro dollar, GBPUSD to behave completely in a mirrored way. So let's see now where we can find the trading opportunity. I saw that this is a live weekly forex forecast, guys, so you can use the live chat. I'll come back to you with further discussion. First, let's quickly look at all the instrument giving us trading opportunity in the upcoming weeks from the weekly perspective. So with that said, let's quickly look at now on euro dollar how DXY and is affecting the euro dollar. Now, as you know, the DXY is always mirror of euro dollar. So looking at now on the monthly perspective on euro dollar, we can see that from the monthly, euro dollar has the previous month there was a long week candle. Now if we look at this long week candle on euro dollar, this is a strong rejection from this resistance. Now this month we have seen that euro dollar started to drop so far. Now before progressing further on euro dollar, let's quickly look at the news calendar. Now as you can see on euro this week, very volatile. We have seen that quite a few high impact news coming up on euro, starting on Wednesday in my zone, which is 5:15 p.m. As you can see on euro dollar, quite a few high impact news, and then GBP same day dollar. So GBPUSD, euro dollar, and all of them getting very volatile, including next day USD again, news coming up, unemployment claims, and then Friday coming up euro dollar, and again euro. So euro is very important this week, as well as dollar. So quickly look at euro dollar very importantly. Now as you can see, euro dollar from the monthly perspective, so far we have seen that this market is so far strongly bearish. This is the monthly chart on euro dollar. Now as you can see, if we look at this monthly support level on euro dollar, we can see that from this monthly support the price had a drop. Now so far, after a long week candle from the monthly perspective on euro dollar, we can see that this month, after a little pullback to the upside, the price has broken so far to the downside. And as the price has broken to the downside so far, what I think that as the market approaching this monthly support, we could see that the sellers will try to sell initially, as we are expecting DXY to come down for a deeper pullback. We might see that euro dollar, after testing the monthly support, trying to move to the upside as the monthly close. Now looking at the weekly, so far we can see that there is a little bit of gap between DXY and euro dollar. If you look at the DXY again, we see that DXY already has broken this liquidity zone. You can see here is the liquidity zone. Above this resistance, the price has penetrated that high. That means there is a probability for DXY to come down initially, but we see that from euro dollar perspective, if we look at this weekly time frame, we see that the market didn't still break this support level on euro dollar from the weekly. So there is a still probability for the price to come down to break this low, as we see that this is still bearish market. If we look at the daily on euro dollar, we can see that from the daily perspective, with this multiple liquidity gap, there is one here, euro dollar has grabbed liquidity with this long wick candle, and also we see that there is a long wick candle here. The price gathered liquidity multiple times. Now what we see that after multiple times the price crossed this 20 EMA and also gathered liquidity. We see that euro dollar had a strong breakdown. Last 2 days of trading week, we saw that euro dollar has formed two dojis from the daily perspective, double dojis, and we see that with this double doji the price slowly getting exhausted. This is the important level of support on euro dollar. What I think that initially we might see a pullback or break of this daily support, and then we can expect a stronger pullback to the upside, as we are expecting DXY this week to come down for a deeper pullback. I think that euro dollar initially coming down, breaking this support, and then going back up to this 20 EMA or a deeper pullback, and at the end of the week we might see again coming back down. This could be the wave on euro dollar. Now from the lower time frame perspective, we see that euro dollar so far, what we saw in this zone, the price was maintaining this local downtrending market structure. This is the resistance line on euro dollar, as you can see with this resistance. This is the resistance here on the 4 hour. The price is respecting this level. This week initially we could see that euro dollar coming down, initially breaking this low and then going up for a pullback to this resistance, and then we can expect another drop on euro dollar. Now based on the price action confirmation, as we see that the price is still bearish, as soon as we will find suitable entry on euro dollar along this zone, we will consider going short with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at AUDUSD. Let's see what kind of trading opportunity we have on AUDUSD. Looking at monthly perspective, now from the monthly we see that AUDUSD is a strongly bearish market. This is the resistance line on AUDUSD. Now from that resistance we see that there is a very strong rejection. Now with that rejection from the monthly, the price, this is the resistance here, a very strong rejection on the monthly. This current monthly candle, we saw that there is a long bearish candle. Now this monthly candle is still closing in the next week. What I think that we could see another wave of drop and then going up for a deeper pullback, exactly opposite of DXY. Now looking at the weekly perspective, if you have seen our previous weekly forex forecast, the price has done exactly as it is. Now if you look at weekly back-to-back 5 weeks of drop, now this is the last week's candle, which is also still from the weekly perspective bearish. What I think that initially we could see a drop and then we can expect a pullback to the upside on AUDUSD. Now from the daily perspective, we see that AUDUSD, you can see back-to-back quite a few days of strong drop, followed by last day of trading week a doji. Now this doji, if you look at the overall picture, which is also potentially downtrending market structure, what do you see then on the daily perspective on AUDUSD? There is a long wick candle here, a pin bar, that's a massive liquidity grab in that zone, followed by we have seen another bearish candle, which is also massive liquidity grab, breaking the previous daily high. So this daily candlestick pattern or the market structure on AUDUSD is highly bearish. Now guys, there are two probability here on AUDUSD, is that you see that this is the daily last day of trading week, a narrower candle. Now this narrow candle on AUDUSD is a bearish price action, and we see that we could see, as I mentioned, if we manage to break to the upside, we might see that deeper pullback and then coming down, or we even might see that AUDUSD is breaking down from that zone, as it is a very strongly bearish market. So from the lower time frame, we see that AUDUSD is still maintaining downtrending market structure. So along this zone, as soon as we will find suitable entry on a USD in the beginning of trading, we will consider going short with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at some other instrument. The most important part is to look at our gold. Now before we look at gold, let's look at the GBPUSD. Now let me see what's happening on GBPUSD. Now before I move on to the GBPUSD, guys, this is a live weekly forex forecast. Did you like this way? Let me know, because I decided to make this weekly forex forecast every Sunday live, as well as this will be recorded on the channel. For those who are watching the live, you can watch live, you can interact with me. For those who are not present in the live, still you can watch that weekly forex forecast exactly in the same way in later today or even all through the week. So let me know, guys, in the live chat if you like that way. Thank you very much. And also give a big like and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet, so that you are not missing out any of the content like this that I'm releasing every single day. And also at the end of this weekly forex forecast, I will give further short list for tomorrow only, what we will be looking at and what is my trading setup probability for tomorrow. So make sure, guys, you stick till the end of this weekly forex forecast. Now let's see on GBPUSD, and then I will be looking at other instrument. In the meantime, guys, can you write yes on the live chat so that I know that everyone can hear me? Please write yes on the live chat. Now looking at GBPUSD from the monthly perspective, we see that this is the monthly chart on GBPUSD. Now the previous months there is a long wick candle. Now this monthly long wick candle is in fact a very strong rejection from this resistance zone, which is the support here, which is turning resistance here from the monthly perspective, and we saw that there is a strong rejection from that level. Now with this rejection, this current monthly candle from that zone, we saw that there is a long bearish candle so far. Now this month is still the price action is showing potentially bearish. This is a bearish price action, and what I think that GBPUSD may continue to drop further, and we could see that GBPUSD coming down to this monthly support level. Now if we look at the weekly, we can see that from the weekly perspective, the price is still maintaining series of lower high. This is the weekly resistance. If you closely look at, you can see that resistance line on GBPUSD maintaining series of lower high, double doji. What I think that after a little pullback to the upside, we can expect GBPUSD to come down. Now if we look at the daily, we can see that back to back two dojis, double dojis, lower high and lower low. Now from the 20 EMA, double dojis on the daily, lower high and lower low, which is still bearish price action. So GBPUSD, euro dollar, AUDUSD is still showing bearish price action. Now if we look at the 4 hour, we can see that this is the resistance zone from the daily. From the 4 hour perspective, we saw the GBPUSD, this is the resistance here, and from that resistance last session we saw a long bearish candle. I think that on the market opening we might see initial pullback to the upside to this resistance, and then we can expect GBPUSD to drop from that level. So this is where, as soon as we will find suitable entry opportunity on GBPUSD, we will consider going short with a high probability trade setup with our students. And thank you for joining Jefferson, Delson, Erna, Jefferson, Angie, Simon, Irfan, Tony, Madami. Thanks for joining this live weekly forex forecast. At the end of the session, we'll be discussing more about the tomorrow setup as well. So let's see now on this is the lower time frame price action on GBPUSD. So all of them we see that potential bearish movement. Now let's look at on gold, what kind of trading opportunity we have on gold. I will be looking at from the monthly perspective to see the bigger picture on gold. Now we see that from bigger picture perspective, gold is highly bearish. Still we see that gold is showing potentially downtrending market structure. Looking at bigger picture monthly, if you look at the overall previous months, we saw that from this resistance line, gold had a very strong rejection previous months, a long week candle, and from that zone we saw that gold after as soon as the monthly close here, new monthly opening, we saw that gold had a very strong drop. Now with this drop, gold has broken all these monthly support level. This is the monthly support on gold, and we can see that the price has broken all this support, and as the price started to drop, we could see that gold may continue to drop further to the downside. Now there is a 20 EMA coming up on the monthly. This is the last week of the month. I think that gold, after a little pullback, we still can maintain some downside. Now as we are expecting for DXY first to come down for a deeper pullback and then to go up, so you could see that gold initially going up for a deeper pullback and still maintaining downtrending market structure. Now if we look at the weekly, last week, this is the weekly candle on gold. Now from this weekly candle, we see that this is a very long bearish price action, and if you closely look at, guys, this is a very important point to look at, is that gold triggered huge liquidity from the weekly perspective. This is the weekly swing high where you saw that gold triggered that liquidity from back to back 2 long week candle, and from that zone created this impulse, and this with this weekly impulse, the price is still maintaining downtrending market structure. Keep in mind that the law of trading is what is dropping is likely to drop. That's the law of trading. So what we could see that gold is still maintaining this downtrending market structure and dropping to create a new lower low. So with that said, what we see that gold currently has broken the support level, and we can expect the price come down to this long-term support on gold, and there is this still probability for gold to remain bearish this week as well. This is a very sharp falling market. Now here is the key points, that this is the last day of trading week on gold. Was a very narrow doji here on the daily. Guys, this is what we are discussing, is the weekly perspective. Now this daily narrow doji, if you closely look at, one thing that you can keep eye is that the price maintain a higher low from the daily and also lower low, lower high. So this is a narrow doji, and there is a 2 probability for gold now is for the price to go up for a deeper pullback to this 20 EMA zone and then coming back down to create a new lower low. Another probability is for the price to drop immediately to the downside. What I think that gold in the market opening, I think that initially we could see a drop and then later going up for a pullback and then coming down back again at the end of the week. Now this is, as you know, the last week of the month. This is the last week of the month. Afterwards we will see 2 or 3 days of trading week before the monthly close, but weekly close is still bearish in this market. So let's see possible wave on gold for the upcoming week. Now if we look at this weekly candle, what do you see here, guys? Keep in mind that price action is the key that we have to look at when we are trading in the market. Now this weekly candle, there is a very narrow wick at the bottom and also there is a narrow wick at the top, healthy body. What does it mean? It means that it has a very strong volume in it. There was a huge liquidity on this gold weekly candle that could lead the price to drop further. So what I think, this week initially drop, going up for a pullback, and then finally at the end of the week coming down. Now if we look at the daily, again we see that there's a daily narrow doji. Now this is a very strongly falling market. If you look at the daily chart on gold, what do you see is that starting from here, you see every day the price is maintaining series of lower high. This is a very important clue to look at. That means that because the price maintaining every single day series of lower high, we could see that the market will not be able to break the daily high before a breakdown. This is a very clue. Why? Because imagine that when there was a strength with the bulls, that couldn't create a new higher high. How bulls can create a new higher high when they are almost at the edge about to jump down? So that means that initially you could see a breakdown, and once you see that breakdown on gold, then once the market will be overextended, we might see a pullback. That pullback could lead gold to the 20 MA at the middle of the week, and then we can expect to drop. As we see that this week mainly euro and dollar is very volatile, we could see that gold is coming down for a bigger drop initially and then going up. So let's see now on the 4-hour how the price action is forming on gold. Now this is the gold chart. Now you can see in this gold chart there is a interesting price action. Look at the market structure, the 10 and 20 EMA, how the price is respecting this 20 EMA. Now this kind of market structure is highly bearish. Now if you look at the past, let's go back to some of the old price action to see how the market is doing. Now when you see that this kind of market, you see that narrower candles, all right, and smoothly going up with whenever one candle crossing this 20 EMA getting strongly rejected. This kind of market is highly very high probability that it will continue towards its long-term direction. So we can expect still gold to respect the 20 EMA and then to have a drop, and I think that that's gonna happen. Now if you look at the 1-hour chart, we can see that from the 1-hour perspective, the price action here is a massive liquidity grab from the 1-hour chart. And we had a trade last day of trading week. You can see that, remember, on the live session in that zone, and with this long wick candle on the 1-hour, this is a massive liquidity trigger here. And because the price has formed this structure on the 1-hour time frame on gold, we could see that on the market opening, after a little pullback, it's still maintaining downtrend and dropping down, and afterwards we could see that gold later going up for a pullback and then coming down. So there is a probability for downside on gold on the market opening. So as we trade on the lower time frame, the first move that I will be waiting on gold is on the 1-hour 20 EMA retest, any kind of pullback to the upside. As soon as we will find suitable entry opportunity on gold, we will consider going short with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now as soon as I will find suitable entry on the market opening, as we do every trading week, every trading day, I will be sending the same trade as well as I am in the morning of market opening. If I am not on live, I will be sending it to the VIPs as well. If you want to join us to learn our strategies and also to trade with us gold, euro, dollar, GBPUSD, all the instrument that we are trading, you can join us. There is a link below this video, the first link, and also you can click the link, visit the website, and then you can join us to be part of this trading community. So now let's quickly look at on we have seen all the USD pairs. So let's see now on JPY index, and then we'll look at the JPY pairs. Also, we'll be looking at some of the USD pairs later on to see how the JPY is going to behave this week. Now, looking at the monthly perspective on JPY, we can see that from the monthly, this is a bearish market on JPY. From the monthly perspective, with this long wick candle on the monthly, JPY had a long wick rejection, and every month the price was creating series of lower high. Now what we saw that previous months, there is a long wick doji on JPY. Now with this long wick doji this month so far, after little movement to the upside, we have seen that the price has closed and is still maintaining a downtrending market structure. Now if we look at the weekly, this is the weekly candle on JPY. We see that from the weekly perspective, the price has crossed this 20 EMA from the weekly and closed as a long wick candle, followed by what we saw, a doji, and from the doji, a long bearish candle. Now this week so far, we have seen initial pullback to the upside. This is the weekly doji that has closed on JPY, and what we could see this week, as you can see, the price maintain this long-term support, term resistance. I think that this week JPY, after little movement, we can expect another drop to the downside as the price tested this support here as a resistance. We can expect JPY to continue to drop. Now if we look at the daily perspective on JPY, we see that from the daily, there is a strong daily impulse here, followed by this correction, another impulse. We see a correction, tested the support here as a resistance, and then we can expect the price to come back down again from the daily perspective. So monthly, weekly, and daily, we see that potential downside on JPY. Now looking at further lower time frame from intraday perspective, this is the 4-hour time frame, and you see that this is a local downtrending market structure, an impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. So quite a few wave of drop, and we have seen this movement to the upside, which in fact has broken this swing high. So it triggers liquidity. Now keep in mind guys, when you see that a market is trending, let's say creating series of lower high and lower low, suddenly you saw that the price has broken the swing high, any one of them or even two, that's a very high probability that this market will drop again, as the trend is your friend all the time. So we see that as the market JPY index has broken the swing high, there is a liquidity above the zone. As the price moves from liquidity to liquidity, we can expect now the price to come back down to another liquidity zone. Now this is the support here on JPY, which is turning resistance here, and from that zone we can expect JPY to come down. So this is where JPY index coming down means that we can expect dollar yen, GBPJPY, EURUSD to remain bullish, which is the long-term market structure in all the JPY pairs. So I will be looking at now on EURUSD. Why? Because euro is very volatile this week. There is quite a few high impact news coming up, and with that volatility, we could see that EURUSD is having a very strong reaction, as JPY we are expecting it to be downside. So now let's see on the monthly perspective on EURUSD what it is doing. Now this is the monthly chart on EURUSD. If we look at the overall picture on EURUSD, we can see that with this impulse, it's a very strong impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction. So the price is creating series of higher high and also higher low, which is an uptrending market structure. Now with that uptrending market structure, we see that the price from the monthly perspective created this move previous months we have seen that from the monthly EURUSD has formed this long wick candle. Now this month, as soon as market open, we see that the price has moved to the upside initially, still maintaining an uptrending market structure on EURUSDJPY. Now if we look at the weekly time frame, we can see that from the weekly perspective, EURUSDJPY, this is the weekly candle that has closed as a narrow doji. Now with this narrow doji from the weekly EURUSDJPY, what I think that this week after little pullback we can expect the price to remain bullish. As you see that this is the weekly candle, there is a strong rejection, starting up another new impulse as this market is creating series of higher high and higher low, which is a long-term uptrending market structure. We can expect EURUSDJPY to remain bullish for the long-term perspective. So if we look at now on daily time frame on EURUSDJPY, we can see that from the daily time frame, this is also a long-term uptrending market structure on EURUSDJPY from the daily. Now looking at the overall picture on the daily, what do you see that on EURUSDJPY is that this is here you can see how the market structure has evolved. If we draw this level here, it's a very nicely arranged the market structure. This is the resistance here, which is the support here, and also support here. Now here we see a clearly visible inverted head and shoulder on EURUSDJPY. Now with that inverted head and shoulder, the price has created this daily impulse with a strong liquidity grab, and then it's coming down for a correction. Now what I think that as we see back-to-back 2 days of drop in the upcoming trading week, as the Euro news coming, we might see initially another wave of drop. Why? Because this is the daily candle, which is a red candle with a long wick at the bottom. Now when you see in a falling market, when you see this kind of candle, you can expect the next one to come down to fill that wick, and with that filling of wick we might see a retest of daily 20 MA coming down further and then going up again towards its long-term uptrending market structure. Now from the 4 hour we see that EURUSDJPY, this is a long bullish candle on 4 hour, and what we saw that EURUSDJPY, this is an impulse in this market from this level, a very strong impulse, and then consolidation, correction, we saw a locally uptrend and then breakdown. Now what I think that EURUSDJPY, guys, in the market opening, you see this is the last session candle, which is in fact a bullish engulfer. We could see that on the market opening another wave of drop on EURUSDJPY, and very highly likely that we could see that EURUSDJPY coming down to this support level. All right, this is a important level of support here, support here, support here, and with that support on EURUSDJPY, retest of this support, we can expect a momentum to the upside. So this is where once the price will drop and will give us suitable entry, definitely I will look for buying opportunity. As euro is very volatile this week, I will look for potential bullish trading opportunity on EURUSDJPY. So as soon as we will find suitable entry, we will consider going long with a high probability trade setup on EURUSDJPY. So now let's look at GBPJPY and dollar yen. Now looking at dollar yen, we see that as we are expecting JPY to be weaker and dollar to remain still bullish, we could see that dollar yen is still maintaining its long-term bullish market structure. So let's see from the bigger picture how it is doing. Now looking at the monthly time frame on dollar yen, we see that from the monthly perspective, this is a long bullish market structure. Now guys, before I progress further, I'm gonna pause for 2 seconds. Everyone smash the like button, and also If you haven't subscribed yet, I'll recommend you to subscribe now. Press that bell button so that you don't miss out any of the content that we are releasing every single day. And also you can write any question that you have on the live chat at the end of the session. After a couple of pairs that we look at, I'll come back to any question that you have. I'll come back with all the answers that I can possibly answer for you. So smash the like button. Did you do that? Awesome. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So let's see now on dollar yen how the market is doing. Now from the monthly and perspective on dollar yen, we see that this is a very strong monthly bullish market structure, and we have seen that local breakdown. The monthly local is a higher time frame, which is in fact a strong higher time frame that can consider as a global market structure. Now globally dollar yen is bullish. We saw that with this impulse correction, it is in another impulsive phase. Now if we look at this candle here on monthly, so far in the first 3 weeks, we have seen that dollar yen is significantly bullish. Now what we see that here on dollar yen is this week, what I think that because the market already initiated a bullish move last week of the month, we could see a little bit of drop and then moving to the upside again to create a new higher high. Now if we look at the weekly, this is the weekly candle on dollar yen, which is having a long wick at the top, very narrow body and narrow wick. What I think that in the market opening, we could see that dollar yen is from this level. After testing this level, we can expect again the price to maintain a new higher high. Now there is a double doji here. You see there's a long wick at the bottom and also long wick at the top, back to back 2 dojis on dollar yen. And last week of the month, we have seen that the previous week there is a bullish engulfer. Now this bullish engulfer is in fact a very strong indication for the further move to the upside on dollar yen. And I think that this week, after a little pullback, we can expect the price to maintain a new higher high. Now looking at the daily, we see that dollar yen in fact preparing what I think that for another upside. Now where we can expect that another upside to happen. Now this is the daily chart. Daily chart is always very clear to understand rather than any other chart, that any other time frame. I always look at the daily time frame, which is very reliable for me to look at. Now from the daily perspective, we see that this is the daily impulse on dollar yen, followed by we have seen the price is coming down for a deeper correction, back to back 2 days of drop. Like all the JPY pair, we see that on dollar yen also there is a long wick at the bottom here. What I think that on the market opening, we might see that initial drop and then continuation to the upside towards its long-term direction. Now from the 4 hour, we see that there was a drop last day of trading week and immediate again another candle to the upside. I think that we might see slowly another wave of drop here that could lead, especially this is the zone that I will be waiting for a retest. Now if you closely look at, you can see that this is a very important level. If we readjust this zone on dollar yen, we can see that, let me delete that here, and we see that this is the support here on dollar yen, okay, which is turning resist, also support here. And once we see that dollar yen has broken towards the downside, has given us, it may create a new lower low, or without creating, we might see a doji here and then continuation to the upside, because it's a long-term uptrend. Because it's a long-term uptrend, I will be waiting for a potential upside on dollar yen. So let's see now on the lower time frame, further on the 1 hour or further lower time frame, we'll be waiting for kind of double bottom, a possible, or an inverted head and shoulder on the 1 hour will give us a very good entry opportunity for this potential upside on dollar yen. As soon as we will find suitable entry on dollar yen on the market opening, we will consider going long with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now let's look at NZDUSD. Let's find out what kind of price action that we have. Now looking at the daily on NZDUSD, we can see that like all the instrument that we see from bigger picture, we saw the DXY, euro dollar, GBPUSD. Now you can see that NZDUSD also showing potentially downside market structure. Now this is a typically bearish market structure on NZDUSD, starting with this impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. We can expect a correction and then to have another impulse. Very simple. Now looking at comparing with the, now this is the USD pair. As you can see, we come back to the USD again, and then we look at other instrument as well. And now you can see that on NZDUSD we can compare with gold or euro dollar and GBPUSD. Almost they all move in the same direction. Now if we look at from NZDUSD and gold perspective, we see that you see the price how many times gathered liquidity from here. There is a strong liquidity grab, and also there is a strong liquidity grab here, back to back to zone where we see the price gathered liquidity. All right, and then after gathering multiple times liquidity on NZDUSD, we saw that the market so far is creating series of lower high. Now this is a narrow doji here on NZDUSD. Now with this narrow doji, the price so far started to drop, and what I think that initially we can expect a drop and then going up for a pullback and then coming back down on NZDUSD. Now from the lower time frame perspective, this is the 4-hour candle. We saw that there is a long bearish candle, and with this bearish candle, what I think that on the market opening we can expect an initial drop and then going up to retest and then coming back down. So because initially we are expecting a drop, if we see that the price action giving us suitable entry on NZDUSD, we'll consider going short with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at dollar CAD. Now dollar CAD, if we look at the monthly, we can see that from the monthly perspective, dollar CAD so far was back to back in the 3 weeks, was in a very strong bullish momentum. Now this is the strong bullish market, but at the same time dollar CAD is approaching a monthly resistance line like all the USD pairs. Now looking at the weekly, we can see that back to back 4 weeks of uprise. I think that this week, after a little pullback, we can expect a move to the upside, still maintaining an uptrending market structure. Now if we look at the daily back to back 2 days on dollar CAD, which is a bullish, now you can see overall market structure on dollar CAD. Here is the liquidity grab, okay, cross this doji's low, created this bullish move, and we have seen another strong bullish engulfer. So all those daily liquidity grab, in fact, giving a very high probability for dollar CAD to move to the upside. Now as you know that the market moves from liquidity to liquidity, we can expect dollar CAD to grab liquidity and then to move to the upside again for longer term perspective. Now from the 4-hour, we see that dollar CAD, this is an uptrending market structure. Initially we can expect a pullback and then going up towards its long-term direction, as we are expecting DXY gold initially to drop and then to go up for a pullback. We can expect dollar CAD to do completely opposite. We can expect an uprise and then to come down for a deeper pullback. So this is where we'll be waiting for a potential buying opportunity on dollar CAD as soon as we will find suitable entry. And I think that in that move on dollar CAD, we could see that break of this resistance line, and we can expect the price to gather liquidity and then to come back down later from that zone for a deeper pullback. So initially we can expect dollar CAD to go ahead and to create a new higher high. So now let's look at some other instrument. Let me know guys. Now I have covered majority of the pair. We will be looking at NASDAQ and US30 later. Now in addition to my list, I'll look at now your request, what you are looking at. Euro dollar, Zafar Sadek, we already discussed euro dollar in this this is a weekly forex forecast, so you can review the previous timing. If you go back to the timing, you should be able to see what we are expecting, basically exactly the same way that DXY and gold. You can review that analysis. Now I want to ask you guys which pair this week you think that you should look at. Let me know. I'll be looking at that as well, and then we'll be looking at, okay, so Adagil US30. Okay, I will be looking at now on US30 and NASDAQ. Now looking at the US30, looking at monthly. Now from the monthly we can see that US30 has reached this very important monthly resistance line. This is a very significant monthly resistance on US30. You can see that, and from that resistance the price had a very sharp rejection from that level. Now with this rejection we saw that the price has broken down completely. As this is the last week of the month, what I think that US30 we could see another wave of drop before the monthly close. We can expect the price to penetrate this level, and then we might see later a pullback to the upside. Now looking at the weekly, we can see that so far this is the weekly candle on US30, and so far this week is also a very strong breakdown. And I think that on the new market opening, after a little pullback, we can expect further drop on US30. Now if we look at the daily, last day of trading week, US30 has formed a doji. Now this doji is quite significant. If you look at this support level here on US30, we see that the price tested this support. There is a doji here, and it's a long-term uptrend, has come back to this support. I think that this week we might see in the beginning we might see another attempt from the seller to break this low, or even we could see a double doji from the daily perspective, and then to drop from this level to create a new lower low. Now if we look at the further lower time frame from intraday perspective on US30, we can see that this is a locally downtrending market. After gathering liquidity multiple times on US30, we saw that there is a drop, correction, the price is creating series of lower high and lower low. Now the market opening is very important because US30, you can see it's in a very important level of support. Now it is possible for US30 to have a reversal from here. As you can see that this is a very important level of support. The price already formed a long wick candle. Now I'll not be directly selling from here. As you can see, the price has a sharp rejection after penetrating this support. We first need to see how the price is reacting to this level. If we see that US30 has come down, created another long wick rejection, then we will be looking to buy from this level. On the other hand, if we see that US30 has managed to break the support level and has retested this level, is still maintaining a downtrending market structure, we look for potentially selling opportunity. It will really depend on how US30 might be doing. Now another important aspect, guys, that we need to look at, that in the middle of this is the BTC USD, because BTC Bitcoin is open over the weekend. That can give us a very clue for the upcoming market opening. Now if you look at BTC, now we see that BTC had a very strong drop yesterday. There's a narrow doji, the price is going up for a pullback. Now you can see that BTC is in a very strong downtrend. That means that we could see dollar still remaining bullish. So this is just a clue that we can look at for the upcoming market opening. So looking at that, what we are looking at from the previous chart, let me see, we were on the US30, going back to US30 again. So we see that with that said, still we might see the downtrend on US30 as we are expecting DXY to come down. But as you can see, this is the daily doji on US30, and we really need to see how the market is doing. Now it may manage this one to be a head and shoulder. You can see there's a mirror here, there's a doji, and also there is a doji. If we see that the price has broken the support, maintaining the downtrend, we can consider going short on US30. Now looking at NASDAQ, let's see how the NASDAQ is doing. Now NASDAQ, from the bigger picture perspective, looking at the monthly, we can see that from the monthly, now if you look at the US30 and NASDAQ, a little bit of difference in market structure, not a little bit, I would say that a huge difference in NASDAQ and US30 from bigger picture. Now NASDAQ is, you can see there was an overextension to the upside from the monthly, and the price started to drop from that level aggressively. This is the monthly candle. As this market is overextended to the upside, we can expect NASDAQ to come down further to create a new lower low. Now if we look at the weekly, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is a weekly candle so far. Last week of trading, the previous week, we saw a candle that has a very narrow wick at the bottom, and also there is a long wick at the top, and highly likely that we could see NASDAQ coming down to create a new lower low. Now there is a doji here on the weekly. You can see this is the support, and I think that NASDAQ, we can expect this week after a little pullback to retest this level before moving up again on the lower time frame. Now if we look at the daily on NASDAQ, we can see that from the daily perspective, like the US30, it also formed a doji. Now what I think that on the market opening after a little pullback or breaking the daily high, we can expect another drop on NASDAQ. Now from the intraday perspective, we see that NASDAQ, this is the 4-hour NASDAQ, we can see the price has broken this resistance. All right, there is a liquidity in this candle, and after a pullback to the upside, we can expect further drop on NASDAQ. Now if we look at the 1-hour chart, we can see how the price has broken the swing high and then forming this long wick candle. So this is a typical downtrending market structure, and along this zone I will look for potential selling opportunity on NASDAQ. As soon as you will find suitable entry, we will consider going short with a high probability trade setup. So we have covered majority of the pair. GBPUSD, yeah, absolutely. I will be looking at now some other instrument that could give us trading opportunity. Looking at EURUSD, if we look at the monthly on EURUSD, we can see that this is a very strong bullish market structure on the monthly on EURUSD. With this monthly impulse, the price is still in a long-term uptrending market structure. Now if we look at the weekly perspective, we can see that from the weekly as well, EURUSD is potentially bullish. Last day of trading week has a candle that has a long wick at the top, which is also bullish. Now if we look at the daily on EURUSD, we can see that with this daily impulse, this is a strong impulse followed by narrower correction, and last day of trading week there was not much movement, a narrow doji. I think that on the market opening we could see a break of this daily low and then rejection towards the upside, as it is a long-term uptrend. If we draw this support level on EURUSD, now you can see that from the 4-hour perspective, the price is maintaining still a bullish market structure. Now below this 4-hour candle, there is a 20 EMA, and it will be a very good place for me to even scalp from this level. If EURUSD breaking this low, we should see an immediate rejection, and this is where I will keep eye for this potential upside on Euro AUD. As soon as I will find suitable entry on Euro AUD, we will consider going long with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now if you want to trade all of them, guys, euro dollar, GBP USD, all the instrument that we are trading including gold, you can join us. There is a link in the description area. There is the first link. Visit the website and then click join now button. If you want to be part of this trading community, you can access all the trades that I am opening, and also you can access all the trading tool that I am using, and also you can be part of a VIP chat group. Now let's see on WTI on US oil how the price is. Peter, thank you very much for your appreciation. Now let's see on WTI. Now from the WTI perspective, we can see that this is a currently again turning to a bullish market. This is the daily chart. Now what we see that from the bigger picture, looking at the monthly, and before I progress with the WTI, guys, let me know in the live chat which pair might give us the most profitable trading opportunity in your opinion tomorrow. Can you let me know in the live chat? That I will be looking, especially I will analyze from all time frame perspective. First, let me know in the live chat, what do you think, which pair tomorrow giving the highest trading opportunity? Let me know in the live chat. That will also help others to see that pair in a special way. So let's see on WTI. We can see that from the monthly, there is so far a monthly impulse. Now with this monthly impulse, the price has created this movement to the upside, and this is the monthly candle. So far in the first 3 weeks, we saw that a narrow doji. I think that as we see the WTI is in a very strong momentum, we could see that the market is remaining bullish this week as well. If we look at the weekly, we can see a very strong impulse, very narrow correction. I think this week we could see, after a little pullback, a continuation to the upside, as we see that from the daily, an impulse correction, another impulse to the upside. Now if we look at the daily on WTI, we can see that from the daily, the price has broken this swing low, and that's a very important level. If you have looked at my previous weekly forex forecast, this is what exactly I mentioned in my analysis, that WTI to remain bullish, and it did that. You can see this is a support level here, support here, and from that support, so far the price has come down, tested this support and created this strong impulse. Now last day of trading week has formed a daily candle. For me, it's also a bullish candle. Now if we look at our strong price action confirmation, we can see that WTI is potentially upside, because you can see after breaking the swing low, the price is maintaining long-term uptrending market structure. Now from the lower time frame, we see that this is a local downtrend. You can see creating series of lower high and lower low, and here the price failed to create a lower low. Instead, it has created a higher high and formed a potentially inverted head and shoulder and broken the market structure. I will be waiting for a retest on the on this level. This is a very important previous support, and also support here. You can see this is a, let me extend that level. This level here is the resistance here, support here, support here, and we can expect it to be tested as a support and then a movement to the upside on WTI. So this is where I will be waiting. As soon as we will see suitable entry opportunity on WTI, we will consider going long with a high probability trade setup with our students. So let me know, Aussie yen, is it buy or sell? Very good. Okay, I can't tell. Okay, very good question, very good answer. Yeah, no one can tell. Let the market open. So let me see the Aussie yen. Now Aussie yen, as we are expecting all the yen pair to be potentially bullish. Let's see Aussie yen how it is doing. Now looking at the weekly on Aussie yen, All right, so Aussie yen for me potentially upside as well. Now looking at the monthly on Aussie yen, we can see that from the monthly, this is a very long term bullish market structure on Aussie yen. You see that with this monthly impulse, it's now coming down for a correction. And from the monthly perspective, previous month there is a long week candle. This month so far we have seen that Aussie yen so far has created so far had drop, and we can expect now upside because a monthly impulse correction, we can expect another impulse on Aussie yen. If we look at the weekly time frame, we can see that so far from the weekly perspective, this is you can see there is a very sharp bearish candle on the weekly. Now this candle, if you look at here, it has broken this support and overextended, closed above. What I think that on the market opening after a little pullback, Aussie yen, we can expect it to continue to rise. Now if we look at the daily, this is the daily price action, and in the daily price action, Aussie yen was maintaining downtrend, has come to a very important level. Now below this daily pin bar, it's a liquidity candle. The price has just broken that low on Aussie yen, and that breakdown, what I think that we could see that after little pullback, the price to continue to rise. Now from the lower time frame perspective, we see that Aussie yen is consolidating in that zone. I think that after little pullback, we can expect Aussie yen to continue to rise. As soon as we will see suitable entry on Aussie yen, we will consider going long with a high probability trade setup. I strongly believe that, guys, you understood now which way the market might be doing in the next week. And in addition to that, we have in fact a bigger list. I will be covering every day with live session as well as with live analysis. So make sure, guys, you stay connected by subscribing to the channel, by pressing the bell button, and also you can join us to be part of our trading community if you want to learn more and grow as a trader. Now this is a general weekly forex forecast we have done in live to understand which way the market will be heading. Now let's quickly look at tomorrow. What will be my watch list? Let me make that so that we know exactly which way we will be trading tomorrow. Now first of all, my eye definitely will be on gold. Now with a precise information on gold, if we look at the 1 hour chart, we have already done the analysis. Now gold mainly I will be looking to short in that market. Even on the 15 minutes and 5 minutes, I will look for potential entry opportunity on gold. Now you can see it was in a very strong consolidation last day of trading week. Now this consolidation, the price might maintain a level here. Now in the market opening, we can expect an upside. As you can see, it's maintaining here series of higher low. So with that upside probability on gold, we can expect the price to go back to this dynamic resistance zone, and from that zone the price to move towards the downside. As it is a very strongly bearish market, unless we see a very strong movement in the market, I will wait for an overextension to the upside, and then from that zone I will be waiting to sell. Now as of every week and every day, any trade that I'm opening, I'll definitely send it to VIP members who are trading with us if I am not on live. So if you want to join VIP program where you will be learning the strategies and also you will be trading all the instrument that I am trading, there is a link below this video. You can visit the website, also join us to be part of our trading community where you will be learning all the strategies, and also you can access all the trading tools that we have, all the strategy that I am learning to grow as a trader. Thank you. We have a lot of insider knowledge. Thank you very much. Suspect, how's the gold trade? Okay, so gold, yep, gold trade. Okay, so gold trade, the last one that we have opened last day of trading week was incredibly profitable. You have seen that the last trade that we have opened on the market closure, it had given us the full profit. That you have seen that the last one on the live session that we left during the live session, last trade during NY live. And tomorrow we want to see like this a lot of trading opportunity coming in the market. Now one announcement is that from tomorrow I will be first live that we will be doing the pre-London session live. I will come on 30 minutes earlier than before. The New York session live will be exactly in the same time, but the first live that we will be doing pre-London session live, I will come 30 minutes earlier so that we have more time to analyze, to look at the market for potential trading opportunity. So make sure you guys also stick to the live session for growth, because if you follow the live sessions, if you follow management plan, risk management plan, definitely it will be helpful to you to be profitable as a trader. So with that said, guys, I strongly believe that this live weekly forex forecast was helpful to you. Don't hesitate to ask any question using the comment section below this video. I'll see you again very soon with trading live as well as in the live session. If you're on the VIP, definitely we will be announcing very soon. We'll talk there. Thank you for that, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Before I leave, if you want to join a regulated broker, also I'll recommend to join ABATrade. There's a below this video, there's a link in the description. You can click the link and then you can register for free and you can start trading with a regulated broker. With that said, guys, thank you and I'll see you soon.